What up, though, Detroit and online? It's your girl, Christina, aka Ina Lee, and you are tapping in to T and the D. And I just want to thank you so much for being here. And I want to let you know that I appreciate your time, your support, and even your patience because, wow, that last episode recap, it was good. But I even said, why are you talking so much? I'm like, oh, Lord, I see what you mean there. So we're definitely growing. I'm taking y'all constructive criticism and your very kind words, especially the kind ones. Because the other ones, be careful, they might get deleted. But I definitely am taking all your kind words and constructive criticism into account as we go on this journey together with T in the D. However, I did also want to tap into the reason why T and the D was even built. T and the D I created because I wanted to offer a platform for us to not only allow our reality to be expressed without all the edits that the show may have, or even the narrative left from where the perspectives of the comments or the people, the audience has, without all the full information, without all the full tea. Oh, speaking of tea, hoping to get an Arizona sponsor because we definitely love the tea, especially in the D. Speaking of which, this one is my very, very favorite. It is called iced tea with raspberry flavor. Y'all see that? Let's block the light. Okay. And also, the thing about this one that I love the most is this company actually said they will never go up more than $1, even as they increase their ingredient, the quality of their ingredients, because this one specifically says no preservatives, no synthetic colors or artificial flavors. So, I'm all for things that has no color dye. And yeah, shout out to Arizona. If you're looking for a brand ambassador, we do love the Arizona iced tea. Raspberry for me. And what does it say? Busy making my dreams come true. That's why I don't be worried about some of these folks who I'm telling you, let me pour my tea because this one is very interesting to me. Again, we have this platform where we are all learning, and on this platform, hopefully we are going to correct some of the negative judgments that are placed onto us, or even just clarify some of the edits that may not have been clarified throughout uh you know the season. If you ain't get what you need, I promise you, come to T and a D. Because that episode recap, reunion after special, that one, that reunion after special, I don't think anybody was expecting that much interaction, is what I'll say. Uh, but it was real. Ain't nobody script nothing. We didn't have to edit anything. If you want to see what's real, because life isn't always pretty. The truth isn't always easy. So sometimes when feelings are involved and people actually care, you find out that how they respond, you can't control. You can't control how somebody responds to you hurting their heart. That's like off limits. Now you get whatever you get, and now you just have to repair and not necessarily pick up the pieces. Because maybe on some ends, they may not feel like it dropped. They may feel like they built a whole new life and now they're moving on. So, there's just perspectives to the picture. That's all I'm saying. Before I get, let me sip the tea. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay. I definitely am glad that y'all are here. Oh, in case y'all didn't know, just a little bit about me. I, prior to being the host of T and the D and the creator, is that like a CEO? I actually went by the artist formerly known as Ina Lee. So you can find any of my music on any major digital download platform site at INA space LIS. And I think that is cool that some of y'all, even though it was a chaotic episode, commented on the song in the beginning. Um, Looking for the hot topics, juicy things from the ones you know that be on the scene. Pull out your phone, type T in the D, don't look too far, we in the city. Period. So basically, that is one of my songs. Cause if you're a writer, if you're a singer, go ahead and what they say. Said you're a singer, why don't you sing something then? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. So definitely I am tapping into a new journey in podcasting and hosting and just visual entertainment specifically versus learning my routines, performing my songs, writing my songs, recording my songs, recording a video. These are different short term performances versus real life watching interaction and expressing feelings. So when you jump into podcasts, and especially when you have multiple casts on a platform, you one have to figure out how to navigate everybody's emotions. So one, you're not offending anyone, and two, you're also allowing everyone to be heard. So I'm still working on not thinking I'm the star of the show. Cause I be thinking y'all came to hear me. So I will definitely take that again into account. You got the time for some tea, some grace, and a whole lot of patience. I promise you, it'll be a great ride as we continue on this journey together. Now, the reason why we are all here. I was recently notified that someone is literally screaming, and I mean screaming from the rooftops for my attention. I'm like, girlfriend, what is happening? Like, I have not slept with your man. I didn't steal your money. I didn't touch your kids or talk about your kids. How do you have this much animosity and focus on me? I just don't get it. So, I mean, I think that maybe you all can help me figure that out. And hopefully by the end of this exclusive, you will help me decide, am I tripping or is hashtag Lauren a liar? I don't know. Y'all tell me if y'all agree that this is some weird stuff, and girl, are you just using Ina for attention at this point? I promise you, most of all of her recaps or conversations in the coming days will all be about me. She'll find a way to bring it there. So basically, the goal is to tell me, am I tripping or is hashtag Lauren a liar? If you feel like you understand what I'm saying by the end of this, hashtag Lauren's a liar. So, just for clarity, and I will be doing my best to be very concise and, to have grace when I offer this reality. Um, because for me, I just don't think that it's right for you to lead anyone just any old place. And if you out here lying, my mom always says, scratch a lie, find a thief. I ain't gonna let no liar lead me. So let's get started. Um, Jumping right into let's see, where's that? Okay. This whole conversation that she had, I guess she was recapping the cast, and I even have conversation from it. So as it's going on, we're gonna have a special uh we have a special guest, vocal audio from hashtag Lauren the Liar. If I'm not hashtagging her in that manner, I'm gonna have to hashtag her in an oxymoron because she has this little big energy. I'll just say, girl, you too big to be acting this small. It's real petty. It's really petty. You don't have a reason to not like me. You're coming out with false narratives to try to make me look bad, but you have to try harder. You just have to try harder. It looks like she's using my name and attempting to just create a following of fans who believes her false narrative. And the platform that she's using is her own, saying that she's a girl's girl. But in Ready to Love, you literally say, I don't have many girlfriends. I have more guy friends because I don't normally get along with girls. In this show, you see why, though. Like, when Dominique cooked the whole meal for Bello, Bella, I don't know what you think you're about to tell me that's gonna make me feel like you not spitting game in her ear because she just cooked a whole meal for you. So it doesn't even matter. And let me clarify, because I hear all this ignorance running around from all this these different blog sites just identifying what Bello didn't do. So just to clarify, Bello, just tapping in on a side note, Bello absolutely did pay for my massage. He initially requested to do a couples massage. Now, this is a small conversation. This is like a year and a half ago, so don't think there's nothing going on because I have respect for marriages. So, congratulations. However, on the show, oh, I need my tea. Hold on. I love this tea. So on the show, Bella definitely was very kind to me, and I do think that we built authentically some very good moments that identify different character commonalities as to why we felt so comfortable. When he came to the premiere and my father was there, he gave my father so much respect and say he actually told me that he told my father that he hopes that his daughter is like me when she grows up. So that's a huge honor. And for me, when Bello did get the massage, it wasn't him trying to do anything other than keep his word. When I talked to Bello in that kitchen, it's because Bello told me he was going to do something and that we were going to follow up in the morning to actually book it. And when I followed up with him, he only responded to the good morning, I'm well, and not to, did you still want to book the massage? How can you say, yes, I'm doing well and I made it back, but you did not respond to the massage message? That's like selective reading. So I just had to fall back. And she made the meal. So we don't have nothing to talk about because your favorite food is Jamaican. As y'all saw, you're the one whose favorite food is Jamaican. Back to Lauren. See, my thing is this. I'm attempting to stick to the facts and the things that mattered. So on a side note, because I didn't say it, was just telling you that Bello did get the massage. He actually put his card on file. And I ordered, a few champagne, got me some little snacks and hors d'oeuvres. And it was a great time. Got in the sauna and the pool. So definitely want to give that clarity because people keep saying that he didn't. And I'm like, no, y'all, listen. Devon sent the money for the massage just in general off of the conversation out of consideration, and I was just so surprised, and I was like, dang, he's my top. I know the side note, y'all, hurrying it up. But I'm like, dang, he's my top. And then after that I was like, well, everyone's out of there unless fairly so I should give them the opportunity, and I was glad I did because I got to see who was not aligned in that moment. So it worked out for me. I don't think that I lost much of anything. you know Okay, so she begins her conversation after giving the recap of how she felt with the other ladies, and then left me for the last one, acting like she forgot who she was wanting to talk about. And it's like, girl, save the best for last. That's what I feel like she did. And sometimes people get mad that you love yourself. But I mean, you love me too. You have to love me. Because let me tell you, we all know it's a very thin line between love and hate, right? And you know what Cardi told me? Cardi told me that you have to love before you can hate. So it had to be some love there at some point. And my thing is, where did you lose it? Because I didn't, like, again, tell me what I did to you, and then we can go from there. So she opens up with saying, actually, let's go ahead and play it. I'd like to play it first. Let's go ahead and start the conversation off with her actual conversation. Tina, welcoming Lauren to the stage.
My first impressions, Ashante was really, really sweet, very confident. Ashley, I mean, I thought she was pretty. Loved her outfit. Who else?
Who else?
Ina. Oh Lord, God, Ina, Jesus.
Pause. Let's just stop there. Oh Lord, God, Ina, Jesus. I really am so grateful that she thinks of me so highly. And I don't even think she knows she thinks of me this highly. But it just keeps coming out. Like to be in alignment, like you gave me the lineup. You didn't put me before, you didn't put me after. You literally put me in the lineup of some of the greatest names you know. Oh Lord. God. Ina, Jesus. Now let me tell you this. I do not, I do not, absolutely do not think that I am God in heaven, the true God. You get what I'm saying? However, I will say that if a dog had a baby, it's a puppy. If a cat had a baby, it's a kitten. So if God is my father, then I am a baby God. I am a creator, y'all. And for me, not only am I creating this podcast on T and the D, I've had two children. And that is like God's gift to me, a huge blessing for me to be. I want to say I own them, but I was bestowed with them. You know what I'm saying? And that I pushed him out, all natural. So for me, I'm a creator. I am a baby God. So there's no limits to me, and I think that I don't know. I think that gets up under their skin that I feel like that. But why not? Why not? So going back to, I wouldn't say I would put myself in that same category, but I do love God. So the way he lined it up, it has her looking crazy. Well, no, she has herself looking crazy. And let me not put that on God. We have freedom of choice. Let me keep going.
I got a funny story about Ina. So
Is it that
I
funny?
met Ina a long, long time ago. I'm gonna say maybe 10 years ago. I was at I was getting my nails done. And she was getting her feet done in the same spot. And she had this big, gorgeous, curly hair and looks all exotic and pretty. And I saw her, I said, oh my God, in my mind, why she's so pretty. I sit down to get my nails done, and she goes, hey, you pretty. And I had a weave in, big curly weave. Is that your hair? And I was like, no. But that to me is an odd question to ask somebody you don't know. I'm like, no. She's like, okay, because mine is real. And I was like, okay. And she was like, girl, we gonna be friends because we both pretty. And I was like, oh. And then she's like, but first I need to know, do you know my baby daddy?
Okay. Now that was a lot to take in, a whole bunch of trash. I know. I feel like the garbage collector because I'm like just sweeping up all and like picking it all up, all of your trash, girl. So let's go ahead and clean it up. Let's start with the fact that did you literally just say that you knew me over 10 years ago and on the show you or in the comments you acted like you didn't know me? So that's the first lie. Um Over 10 years ago, it sounds like nostalgia. The fact that you remember this word for word, girl, it really is. I would say that's where the love is coming from. Because to start there and go the whole journey that we're about to go through and then end it where you are right now, it just sounds like, yikes, where was the love? Where is the love? You know what I'm saying? Where was it? Because, girl, did you ever have it? Or were you just creating this facade and this fake behavior the whole time? Like, this is a true mean girl, nice, nasty situation. And I recently, when I was notified about this conversation that she had about me, um, I continued a little bit more, and she tried to tell people to continue to watch for future videos where she's going to identify the mean girls and mean girl stuff and just different perspectives. And I'm like, how? Unless you're giving it from your own and as the mean girl, because, girl, when I tell you, you take the cake of doing that nice nasty, of throwing rocks and hiding your hand, of throwing a what is it called, an insult with a laugh behind it. You got to understand, you keep acknowledging we are at this big old age, but you still acting like it's high school, like we ain't all on the grind, like we're not all maximizing, like we could only have one podcast, and you're mad that most of everybody came to mine. I invited you. I invited you. I invited everybody. I invited Donna. I invited Emily. I reached out to everybody. The only person I couldn't get in touch with was Diamond. I love Diamond. I hope that you're doing well. But I was not able to get in touch with Diamond. So, I reached out to Steve. I reached out to Vince. I reached out to everyone, even you, in a group chat. Because if you saw it, I invited everyone. I don't think there's no need for us to like communicate directly. I don't think you had the capacity at the point where you're this emotional and create a whole what 8-minute video on me. And you said so many things that was just so untrue that my video will be a little bit longer because you know what? The truth and receipts take a little bit longer. But we can keep going. She walked in and says how big and gorgeous my hair was, and I was so exotic and pretty. And she thought to herself, she is so pretty. Okay, you saw my hair when you walked in. I didn't even notice you until you sat down. Okay. And if I looked at you and said, "Oh, you're so pretty," it's because you must have been staring at me and I get uncomfortable, but you were pretty, so it's easier to just compliment you. And I wouldn't be lying because you are pretty. Like, you just acting real ugly right now. I just don't know why, but I mean that. I do mean that. I know I say insult with a laugh behind it. That's the truth. You are acting very ugly. Because you lying. You lying. So, anyways, back to the point. Um, so she says that we talk about hair. First off, talking about hair with you and you telling me that I asked you if your hair was real and you're telling me that I told you out of the blue that my hair was sounds like, girl, what? First off, if I ever told you that my hair was real, it's because you had to have asked. Because why would I think that you wouldn't think that my hair was real? I mean, most people can tell. I mean, I've never gotten really asked unless it was like looking really neat or something. And they were like, oh, because mostly, my ends, they be there. I'm not mad at my hair, split ends and all. So most people, they just assume this is my hair. So I don't usually get that question if that's your hair, unless people just really love hair, and I don't know, and really care to ask that question. So I promise you, if that question was brought up, it definitely came from you. It had to have, because I don't see a purpose in me telling you that my hair is real. You know it. Like, you knew it. It didn't even make sense. So fast forward. For you to get mad that I said, "Oh, you're pretty. We should hang out. We should be friends." Girl, why would you be mad at that? I mean, like, pretty girls say that to pretty girls. I think you just took that weird. For me, number one, pretty girls, it's better to be around pretty girls because they got their own confidence. Number one, you ain't got to worry about a pretty girl sitting here getting mad or acting weird in a club because, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't have to get mad when I'm hanging out with a pretty girl in the club because I'm getting too much attention, because they're getting their own. They are getting their own attention, so they ain't mad about what I'm getting. I hang out with pretty girls because when I hang out with a pretty girl, guess what? We're not only floating around off of my invites alone. We're floating around off of our invites. So no, I'm not gonna apologize for saying, "Oh, you're a pretty girl. We should hang out." Girl, bye. Number one. And number two, let me say this and let me make this very clear. If you dealing with my baby daddy in that manner, there's no reason for us to be friends. That's like being friends with the ops. Girl, what? Girl, what? And I'm certain I didn't say it like that, because what I have identified is that even through people's insecurities, you can see a bit of the truth when they trying to tell lies. And for some reason, with some folks, when they have these insecurities, it wears very heavy on their heart, which shows very loud on their sleeve. And with that reality, it's like it brings this type of deflective behavior and mentality that tries to put it off on someone else, like, my reality is yours. That's so weird. Why are you? It's weird. And when I show these receipts, it's like, girl, it's giving a moment of silence. So, moving on to the next section of this unfortunate behavior. Let me get y'all going.
And I was like, bitch, what?
Bitch, what you want to say to my face?
She threw me off.
Girl,
I'm assuming
what?
she must have seen me in a picture, or
You
because like
ain't mad.
I
Hold
was
on.
dating and we.
Pause. You ain't mad about the guy calling you a B word, because I think you're used to it. Because there's no reason for you to be running around at this big old age just calling girls the B word. You're so comfortable with men calling you the B word that you don't mind just calling and everybody the B word. But I promise you, that don't hurt my feelings. It makes you look ignorant. It makes you look dumb because you don't have a real problem to be mad at me. So it makes you look really emotional. And I'm Very disappointed in you, really.
Boyfriend, girlfriend. I was dating a singer
Let me go this back.
um, at the time, and I think she's in see me in a picture or because like I was dating and we weren't boyfriend girlfriend. I was dating a singer um at the time, and I think she's in a similar spaces with me. I don't see her. Thank God we don't run into each other often. We hadn't for all this time. But when I say that, that moment stuck in my head, that first impression. So when I saw her out at another event, I saw another event. I saw her at
Somebody
another event
commented
before
nicely about me.
taping,
That's
and
too
she
loud.
she
Ain't
walks up
gonna
to me. Now
respond.
I think every time I see her, I'm just, hey girl, but I keep my distance and keep it moving. And she starts telling me like she's gonna be on a show, and I'm like, shit. I know you fucking lying. I'm like, what show, girl? What show are you gonna be on? She's like, Ready to Love, girl. I said, no, Jesus, no, Lord.
Okay, she keep calling on God when it comes to me. I love it. So let's unpack that calamity. To start, number one, she's seen me out way more than I seen her. I promise you. It's hard to miss me in the crowd unless you have visibility, okay? Because I do stand out. I was at the whole Chris Brown concert and baby, I was on the jumbo screen. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think I was doing anything special, but hey, she was there. Because if you know, you know. So I guess I stand out, but trust me, if I see you, it is because you definitely stand out. You're like 6 foot and you wear heels. So if I identify that you stand out, why are you mad? Why are you mad that I'm identifying that I saw you? So, mind you, again, wait till we get to the text messages and the DMs of all the things that you have, you know, lied about, I guess. Because you say we're not cool and we don't talk. Just a moment. Now, we are going to jump into that unfortunate clip I just played. Number one, you know you see me more than I see you. You know you do. You just have a better peripheral from up there. And I'm just going to be honest. If I see you, it's because how can we miss you? You know that if I see you, it's because how could I miss you? You get what I'm saying? Type of energy. So moving forward, the fact that you chose to bring up a person that you couldn't even name and then talk about you were dating, but he wasn't your boyfriend just identifies the things that you are used to as to why you were not upset with being Vince's sneaky link or hidden connection. Let me correct myself because I don't know how far y'all have linked and I doubt we'll ever know. But you definitely identified as a hidden connection. A hidden connection. Because after Donna was the person who was out loud spoken about, I don't know. Maybe you would have had some grace if he said, "Listen, Donna, I want to continue if you want to continue this journey, and I will let you know that I'm continuing this journey with Nicole and Lauren." I think it might have been a little more respectful to be accepted. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe you knew you didn't care. Maybe I don't know. I can't think like you. I just can't think like you, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So you were okay with being the sneaky or excuse me, keep saying sneaky, the hidden connection. And even worse, like girl, the last time I saw you before you started being weird, I saw you on the street corner. As I was walking to my car, you were getting out of a car and just standing on a street corner waiting for this guy that I was like, oh, I know him. And you were like, don't tell nobody. I'm like, okay, okay. None of my business. None of my business. So I don't know. It's just a bit of a consistency. Also, the party that she was referring to was Mr. Rayford Jackson's birthday party. Happy birthday, Mr. Jackson, whenever that was. But so I came in with my homegirl from out of town. And of course, I'm late to the party. If you know, you know. But whatever the case, I walk in with her, and as I'm walking in, after taking a few pictures, I see the oxymoron. I'm like, I wonder how long she's been here because she's just there by herself, standing by this like glass mirror thing. And I'm like, okay, let me say hello. I'm not a rude person. I like to speak to folks and be kind. So I said, hey, girl. And mind you, we know each other. She keep acting like we don't know each other. That's the weirdest thing. That is the weirdest part. Like, you don't know me like that, but you know me enough to say you really know me because, girl, you hit me up enough. You hung out with me enough. You've hung out with me outside of Ready to Love. It's just interesting. So, um, I say hello. I speak to her and I say, "How long have you been here? And did you come by yourself?" She said, "Oh, I'm not here by myself. I'm here with my homegirl, and she had been there for a while because the party had started a while ago." So I get it. All right, cool. So she said, "How you been?" I said, "I'm good." As I recall, she looked at me and said, "You on that show?" And I was like, "What show? The show we ain't supposed to talk about?" I said, "Maybe." And then she was like, "Oh, okay, okay." I said, "Are you?" She said, "Oh, I can't talk about it." I said, "Oh, okay." And in my mind, that just meant that we were on the show, So I thought that was like a funny moment that we had just had. And then I went on about my business. Like, girl, I didn't even see you. You were floating. I was floating. It was not that type of energy. And I wasn't looking at you in a negative way. So I don't honestly know where she ended up. Let's go to the next subject.
I knew she was gonna be trouble from the beginning. And so I called one of the producers, like, is this girl such and such gonna be on the show? They're like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh hell no. Shit. Whatever.
Pause. To sit here in my face and hug on me, to text me and interact with me consistently, I would say, over time, I would say, in a way to want to pursue friendship with me, I would say. It's very weird that after seeing me, interacting with me about this show, you sit there and are so moved to call the producers who obviously didn't care. Obviously, obviously did not care about your call because it clearly was on the show. However, it is just interesting that you chose to identify on this universal platform that you openly were attempting to sabotage someone that you smile on their face about. I don't know if that's the most mean girl shit ever or if that is just your way of identifying how real you are. But carry on. And to say that, oh, stuff, I'm trying not to cuss, y'all. I'm too pretty for that. I need to stop cursing. Oh, snap. I knew she would be trouble on this show. I apologize for this misunderstanding here, but y'all gonna have to. It's my hair scratching my face. Y'all gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong, but on this Ready to Love journey, from the out of 12 episodes, and I was on 6 episodes, please explain to me how I was trouble for her. If I recall, the argument that I was engaged with, or the disagreement, or the aggressive interaction that I was involved with regarding a man's use of the word be, the B word, was in regards to you. Because, like I said to him, you are talking about my friend. Listen, I be believing people sometimes, and I have to apparently learn the hard way. It doesn't make me anything but stronger. So basically, you're sitting here calling producers, attempting to blackball, but I don't know. You don't have that much juice, I don't think. Do you think you got the juice? Oxymoron? Call you oxymoron because your energy is so little right now. But There's nothing little about you. So you're like a big little problem for no reason. You could be a big, beautiful problem for the right person who wants to solve you. You know, everybody doesn't have to be perfect to find, their one. I think their one will be perfect for them and they'll be perfect for their mate. There's hope, girl. Anyways, I just felt like to call a producer to even speak on me. It just sounds like hater. And, I got a song coming. It's called, You haters can never, I don't get mad, I just get better, don't you know? You haters can never. Yeah, I got riches on riches on riches on riches. It's something about my emotion that they emotions I'm pissing. I got a chunk of money and some plans in my head. I'ma do my best so the family will be fed. I'm making motions, scoping, riding out the wave, praying for a safe journey in all good days. With God on my side, my heart do flutter. If you didn't know, that's why I utter. You haters can never. Period. So, anyways, that's what that moment was giving. And moving on from that, it was just like, why are you thinking that I'm the problem when I think it's really just your perspective? Because I defended you in regards to Vince, calling you the tall B. I even wanted you to not look crazy on national television as you are just fawning all over this man. And I'm not the first to hear this, okay? I am actually maybe you're the last. So I would be like the second or third from last to acknowledge or even to be notified that this was the conversation. And the reason why I say that is when I got there to the lounge in the waiting area, everyone, other than maybe Shannon, I can't even recall if Nicole, but for certain, the other ladies that we talked to was already discussing the conversation he had. And my thing is, I was like, oh, did anybody tell her? No? I know if that was me and I'm over here talking all this sweet nothings about this man, thinking he is that man for me. And he just referenced me as a tall B. Like Tommy said, I wish he would have just said it like, that girl's a tall B, and whatever the case. I mean, like Tommy said, I wish he would have just said it like, "Oh, you think I want her because she a tall, because that girl's tall." That would have been simple. That would have been the gentleman in him. That would have been the character. But unfortunately, they had went down this road that dragged me down it with them, the rabbit hole of attempting to get clarity for a very like confusing moment. And for her to not want to acknowledge me telling her, knowing that you just said that you knew me for over 10 years and you acting like you wasn't hitting me up the whole time, is crazy. I'm gonna speed this up because I promise you it's too much time left on this. But I just know that, the truth, it definitely takes a little bit longer. So then she talks about, and this is the part I really got to get to because you just wanted me to talk about you. I promise you do. And again, y'all, I'm spending this much time to offer clarity. So let me know. Am I tripping or is it hashtag Lauren the liar? Let's continue.
So I mean, up until that point, I didn't have a real issue with her. I just
No
my
real
spidey
issue.
senses was like, stay away.
Okay, pause. Now that one threw me off. Your spidey senses. Girl, your spidey senses. If you were a spider, what would you be? Would you be a mommy long leg? Oh my god, I thought of that. Would you be a mommy long leg? I don't know. I don't know. What would you be? Okay, carry on.
Um, fast forward,
Fast forward,
and I
please.
don't want to get into the full depth of why I don't deal with Ina, but
Because she doesn't have a reason. Ask her to explain the details other than her emotional feelings.
just understand that our values don't align,
They definitely don't.
our morals don't align.
They could never, cause girl, what? I would never sit here on a national platform and tell y'all I do not like these men. and then go after a show is done with no cameras and deal with one of them. Oh, while he already chose, even if it wasn't directly, he signified the one he wanted standing up there with him, and it wasn't you. So, no, we don't have the same alignment. Additionally, for you, out of all the men to sit there and go and chase after the one who called you the tall bee, no, ma'am. I just don't feel like I would have been chasing any of these men at the point where we didn't align. I was okay with it. That's what happened for my story. And it's like you talking about the values don't align and the moral character. And it just seemed like your posture, your posture, the whole like season kind of summed up to pick me. Like even on your show, Bello specifically said, I just felt like I was getting to pick, from the ladies until I met Christina, and I didn't feel like I was picking but was being chosen. Mm. Let's just let that sit for 2 seconds because for a man to feel like he's being chosen, it feels like he won an award. It feels like you done something that's so amazing. And by the way, this is an amazing mic. Y'all should check it out. I'll probably be recording my new singles on this one. A lot of country soul songs on the way. Just a lot of good vibes because this platform can tend to pull a lot of negativity out of different moments, but I will tell you, the heart and the intentions are always good. The clarity is always a part of that because here's the thing, I'd rather have real and raw than soft and fake. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a plus that I'm real and I think I'm soft sometimes. I'm a little real, too real for some, and a little rough on occasions. But I definitely understand the growth of a lady, and I'm not mad at her or it or the experience that I've had. But we're going to continue with the tea if y'all don't mind. Thank you for your patience. We're almost done here.
And I talk about this in my other like podcasts and stuff, but I want to normalize that if you don't vibe with a person or y'all don't mesh, like you can just go away peacefully. You don't have to be obsessed.
I cannot wait to show y'all these tons of screenshots. There's literally like 70. Obsession much. Lion much. She's literally. I don't want to run the tea. Hopefully, okay, listen. It's gonna be very evident and clear. I even threw it in chat, and chat was like, "Oh my God, it's very evident and clear that this interaction is a consistent and a back and forth, a friendly back and forth banter." Like, girl, listen, over the years, and I can't wait to share it with y'all.
You don't have to start a whole hate train and try to every moment you get try to tear a person down. It's
Hate train. Girl, I'm too busy to make sure everybody show up to the show to even be thinking about you. But apparently, if anybody goes to, I would say maybe 70 or 80% of your content since Ready to Love, I promise you I'm your conversation. A big part of it. Dominique too, but it's only so much you're going to say because I promise you, you ain't going to say it to her face.
it's like this is my second time having to block Ina.
Second time having to block me is insane, girl. Number one, it sounds like you're very emotional. Having to consistently block and unblock, girl, we are not dating. We are not on a level where you have to see me. I think that you just choose to. At the point where you blocked and unblocked me and blocked and unblocked me and all this stuff like that, girl, you got to remember, neither one of those times, not one of them, not one of them did I know about. Well, you told me like I was supposed to care. I'm like, girl, what was I missing over there? What was happening? You can't be serious. Stop playing with yourself. You're only making yourself look crazy. You don't make me look crazy. You make yourself look like a hater. That's the first one. Two, your evidence is very just baseless. It really is. And it's an emotional stance that you're taking and poor perspective behind all the scenarios that you are expressing. None of them hold no weight. I didn't call you a B word. Listen, the core. I didn't sleep with your man. I didn't take your money and I ain't mess with your kids. Girl, give me the problem you have. What did I do other than be too great? Let me tell you, sometimes when a star shine, because I will never take away God's favor over my life. But sometimes when a person shine too bright, just their energy, because a person's energy is big sometimes. I know mine is. Some people they throw shade because they don't have sunglasses. Cool people just throw the sunglasses on because they know they're shining too. Why are you so mad? The question is, why are you so mad, Lauren? Hashtag Lauren is the liar. Why are you so mad?
It's sick at this point. Like,
Sick. It
my
is.
God.
What you're talking about?
And I'll just give you one thing that just the level of delusion that she's on. So she started a podcast called P and the D, Piss and the D, something like that.
First off, to say it incorrectly and say something like that, and then to say it later on, because she says it later on accurately. Number one, you're not funny. To you, like Ashante said, any guy who wants you to twirl, I mean, any woman who wants you to twirl around might be into them things. So I don't know. And oh, as we get to there, you talking about the first episode when your friend Ashante was talking about how she felt about people who made people spin, or even Dominique and Crystal Jordan. Everybody chimed in on how they felt about you making people spin, and you chose to point me out when I really didn't even say nothing. When I watched it back, just on behalf of the ignorance that you were spewing, I watched it back and I was like, oh my God. Does she know anybody could just look it up if they have the time and realize that she's lying and see the fact that she's lying? Matter of fact, I'm going to just keep it scrolling. I'm going to have her receipt scrolling the whole time as I give my conversation so y'all don't miss a beat.
Right. Where she wanted the whole cast to come together to do like a recap show.
I wanted the whole cast to come together. Let me just stop it there real quick. So I created this platform for the whole class to have the whole cast to have an opportunity to say whatever they wanted to say. I basically told them in the beginning, if you can make it, you can make it, and if you can't, you can't. I'm not mad at it. I just really appreciate whenever you'll have time. And that was the same thing for everyone. The only person who really said, hey, I may have some consistent time to offer to you was Cardi. And I'm really grateful for Cardi. Make sure y'all check out I'm Cardi on Instagram. Check out my reality checks on Instagram. As well as Cardi, I got some music coming out, which is really fire and really fine. Holler at the fine girls. As well as he has an amazing game called A Hand at Love. Look out for that. Be on the lookout. However, yes, she thinks we're not understanding, but I think she's the one really misunderstanding this scenario.
And Ed had came to me 6 months before it aired, or at least months before the show aired, and said, I want to do a recap show with you. And I said, okay. So I already agreed to Ed because I have to have the capacity to put my all into a show. I cannot do Ina's show and Ed's show.
Let's stop saying Ed Show when you know that your name is written all over it. You're the main focus of it. So let's not say that. I will identify that you have a lot of organization. I don't know if you could teach anybody else anything other than that. So you might want to stick with your strong points because then it's going to point out how much inconsistency you actually have. But yes, I will say that even if you did your show and popped in on occasion of my show and I could have popped in on your show, that's what real support looks like, in case you didn't know. Don't say that you called me to say that you support us, but you don't support us. It's crazy. Even Ed came at least once. Ashante came. Donna came. Everyone who participated in anything after the reunion dealing with Ready to Love popped in. Even Darius popped in. I think that you're not giving the truth. And before I even give the rest of this, just here, because I want to speed this up. I feel like I'm giving it too much time. But I mean, hey, you wanted the tea. Here's the tea. Here's the reality. And people be lying. So hashtag Lauren is the liar.
I'm already doing something with it. Some way, somehow, it gets back to the whole group. Lauren don't fuck with us. Lauren don't. And in real life, I wasn't fucking with y'all after all the shit y'all did to me on the show. But then I see the first episode of Piss in the D, and they just dogging me. Lauren, being there stuck. Lauren is Lauren. I'm like, that's the type of shit y'all count me out, because I feel like as adults, your brand is so big. Your brand is huge.
What are you talking about? How am I in the group with y'all when I was the one who was getting cursed out from the audience because I sat there and what gave apparently too much concern for a man calling you out your name and thinking that you should have known about it, or even thinking that we were friends enough for me to be checking this man who just sitting out here using this word inappropriately in the wrong setting with people that's not your friend in a competition where they want your woman. It just didn't add up.
And I see the first episode of Piss
Again, first episode. Please check it out so that you can see her hypocrisy.
and D, and they just dogging me. Lauren, being there stuck. Lauren is Lauren. I'm like, that's the type of shit y'all count me out, because I feel like as adults, your brand is so big. Your brand is huge. I cannot be associated. I'm mad that I'm associated with her right now. Okay, I'm lucky.
She's really excited. We're in a whole nother show, y'all. She was like trying to hang out with me throughout the show on the sneaky side, like until it was like, oh, out loud, we don't rock with each other. It was like, oh my God. Girl, you gotta make up your mind. The fact that she's talking about I am the one who spread a rumor about her not messing with us. She number one just said how it got around because I hit her up and said that I support, and I don't know how it got around that I don't mess with the cast, but rightfully so. I at the time I didn't mess with them anyways, but she's spreading a rumor. Number one, it's not a rumor if it's true. We're just passing information at that time. I mean, at that point. Number two, I am not the one that causes people to feel like you don't fuck with us, girl. You and your actions did all of that. When we were at the Motown party, let's start here. When we were at the Motown party, or the Motown recap at the Shadow Gallery, shout out the Shadow Gallery, Mr. Christian 313. Follow him. We literally had an event upstairs. And if y'all know, I be late. And I'm working on it. So I was late, but on the way, I had two calls. I had two conversations. So the first conversation was with Cardi, telling me that he walks in and sees Lauren FaceTiming Ashante and she doesn't speak to him. And then my best friend Christian yells and says, Cardi, you're not going to say nothing? You're not going to see nothing? And Cardi says, oh, hey, because it's awkward. She saw him and didn't smile. She didn't say anything. She didn't speak. So then Christian forced the conversation. And then, yes, he spoke out of just generosity and kindness. Mind you, I invited her. So in my mind, I'm thinking you're coming to support. Fast forward. Just for clarity, Cash Dow was in the building that day and she was kicking it with Christian. Okay. So apparently Lauren popped in on Christian and she ended up jumping into the conversation. She didn't really give interaction to Cardi. And then when I got there, I was told that Lauren was acting stank. Mind you, I was there. Lauren wasn't upstairs at all. These are conversations that's being told to me. That when she went downstairs, Dominique went downstairs, she stood next to her and she didn't want to speak until she realized that Dominique's actually Cash Dale's auntie. So Cash spoke to her, showed love to her, and then Lauren spoke to her. It was like, because if not, girl, you look crazy. Like how you sitting with her niece and you acting weird. I don't know. It was weird. So in my mind, I thought that she would have been in the building upstairs, like the stuff was set up, the show was going on, and I'm like, dang, how are you pulling up to the our venue, but not coming to our event? even not even to watch the show. Like it's not like we charged anybody. Like you weren't being charged. All you had to do was walk upstairs. And for me, it just identified, in my opinion, you could rock with us, but you don't. You could support us, but you don't. So from that point, it was like, ew. That's why you see the conversations that we started having on the Motown party. But prior to that, we were just recapping the moments that came and just giving our honest opinion. And I don't think I was tearing her down in no parts, especially now when it came to that spin. So y'all go back and check in episode one of T and the D and see if y'all think that I'm tripping. But if y'all don't think I'm tripping, make sure y'all hashtag Lauren is a liar. Let's keep it going because I want this conversation to be over and done with. And I promise you, after all this time, if y'all didn't get what y'all need for clarity, it's okay. You don't need to be my people, and I don't need your people. And if you want to be her people, that's fine. Good luck with that, and I hope it leads you somewhere good. But hey, that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say about that.
You won't catch me on TNT because it's the low that's not the way I want to represent my city.
She don't want to represent her city like the reality of Detroit, the realness of Detroit, the authenticness of Detroit, the hustler of Detroit, the hustle in us, the unity in us. There was a lot to take from the fact that we as cast, even after the season, when we went to find love, we didn't find love. There's a level of emotional intelligence that we have to be able to keep unity. The fact that there were so many castmates who showed up for their voice to be heard or to offer support was just identifying the clarity. I mean, or it was just identifying the unity that they wanted to offer and that was there and the comfort level that they felt. Nobody pulling all the way up downtown Eastern Market at 7 until I don't know, 2, unless it's a party or somebody they know is telling them to come. But I don't think we knew each other in that way versus respecting the platform that was built for everybody and the fact that I've never wronged anybody, I don't think, in a way for anyone to have hard feelings. So we were all able to work together and really build, I guess, a great season of recaps, in my opinion. I'm really grateful for Dominique tuning in and popping in and, whether it was at the gallery or at the Norwood. Thank you, Scott at the Norwood. We really appreciate it popping in there, or even, our consistent home base, the Shadow Gallery. Shout out my best friend, Mr. Christian at 313. I mean, at Mr. Christian 313. Shout out Dom82, like bomb, but Dom82, on Instagram, always showing up, showing her truth, her to put maybe the perfect image aside so that she can jump into how life and love can be hard sometimes, that make you wanna, and it makes you feel ugly. And sometimes people may not always understand or even relate to how she reacts, but I can relate because that looked like a woman who was hurt. It looked like a woman who trusted. It looked like a woman who believed in something more than what she saw, a future. So she believed in a possible future. And that's really, I think that's really the part that let her down. Having hope for something after sharing the cards and you see my cards and then you're like, ah, bam, I got better hand. Did you just play me to see my hand? That's crazy. So I get where she came from. And on the other hand, you know, Bello, I get where Bello came from a bit. And I just will say this. I would want a man to quote unquote release me. I just don't think that the timing was appropriate in no form because you were not being considerate of how she would receive that, how she would feel after that, and how you would impact her day. You could have waited until New Year's, which makes me feel like, did your wife potentially push you to do that? I don't know. I'm hoping to get the exclusive, especially about your book. Let me know. Um, moving right along.
That's not the way that I want to elevate my city. And frankly, it's a bunch of people that don't like each other that get together to do bullshit. I got three.
First off, if we're a group of people that get together to do BS, then you got to identify when you get together with your one person or even get by yourself in front of your camera, you looking at yourself, telling yourself you about to get ready to do some BS. Because the reality is, girl, TCD actually made history. You get mad because we made it, I created an event for people to come out and enjoy watching it with us, experiencing how we're actually reacting to seeing it live as they see it as well. What are you talking about? You can call it BS, but I call it history because that's what we did. We made history. Every cast member that stepped onto our TND platform, we created a platform that people wanted to tune into, and they did. So let me explain to you. We actually are the first Ready to Love cast or just in Ready to Love history that there has ever been a live audience watch party and recap with the cast. I thought of that. I did, and I'm proud of myself. And I'm really proud of all the people who contributed so that it could be what it was. Shout out Big Trav. Really appreciate you. The Big Trav Show on Instagram. Make sure you follow him. But with that being said, it just makes it very unfortunate that you attempt to, you know, tear down all of our hard work because what you didn't feel like coming because you don't want to support or for whatever your reasons. I don't think you have a good one. I just whether you have a good one or not, I think that for the person that you're acting like you're representing, this girl's girl, this person who's so nice to everyone, girl. Hashtag somebody is a liar.
Kids who are in two different basketball teams. On top of all the dreams and goals and aspirations I have no space for Tina D, right? So I call Ina because I'm hearing all this stuff, Lauren, and of course it's her that's spreading the rumor. So
Again,
I
a
call
lie.
and I say, hey, I just wanted to, say hi, make sure everything is good with y'all over there. Although I'm not a part, doesn't mean I don't support. And she says, no, I get it. If you can come through, come through. Then every time we're about to get off the phone with this crazy girl, she gotta fuck it out.
She's talking about I spread a rumor. I didn't spread no rumor, girl. That's how everyone felt because of how what you did. Past that, you talking about I was on the phone with you and I invited you somewhere. First off, you called. You called my phone, which you normally do. Girl, you sat on the phone with me multiple days for multiple hours after the show, like with no reason other than to ask me for advice. That's so weird of you. So back to you called my phone just to tell me that you support our show, but you're not supporting our show. And I'm like, okay, girl, because my mind, what's the point of the conversation? You're telling me that you support us and you rock with us, but your actions don't show it. Nothing shows it other than your words. But them is like, ugh, girl. Fast forward.
We had several issues all up until this point. So I'm getting off the phone. She's like, wait. I do gotta tell you something.
Oh, I think she's several issues. I think she's talking about the time where I was out to dinner with a guy friend of mine who, I think he was interested in me, but I don't think we were aligned because although I love his company and think he's very handsome, he just didn't offer me enough attention and time that I would want from somebody if you're my only person. And so we've just been friends for a long time. We went out to eat, or he invited me out to eat. So I went out, hung out with him. She calls me, asks me where I'm at and what I'm doing. I tell her I'm out with my friend who she knows. So it was dealing with a guy who I was out to dinner with, and she decides to ask me because she was like, oh, where y'all at? And she was like, oh, I wish I could come, but I have this other stuff. Now, mind you, I just got done with a photo shoot. So I was just updating her. I had got done with a photo shoot because apparently I thought we were cool. She says to me, oh, I wish I could come, but I'm still busy doing whatever she was doing. Then asks me if we were going to the gifted event. And I said, you know what? We are. She said, oh, are y'all going together? No, she said, oh, do you want to share locations? Are y'all going together? And I was like, yeah, sure, we can share locations. And I was like, no, we're not going together, but I'm sure I'm gonna see him down there. I'm meeting him down there. She was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna get ready and then I'll give you a call when I'm done because I gotta finish up some stuff. I'm like, cool. We get down there, me and Nicole sitting there. Mind you, me and Nicole went. Me and Nicole sitting there waiting on them to pull up or waiting on her to pull up. She's not even close, girl. We're waiting on her for like 15 minutes. She finally comes. Thanks us for waiting on her. Luckily, I was taking pictures in this little 360 thing. Waiting on her to come. She finally comes. And do y'all know that after we get in there, she wants to stop and talk to her friends. We stop talking to her friends, and then I see my friend who I was just out to dinner with. We go after waiting on her to talk to her friends. Go together. We go together to go and say hello to my guy friend. And after I say hello, I ain't about to stay over there too long. I don't want people to think I'm off the market because he and I are just good friends. But of course, there's attraction there. We'll see what happens. But we ain't never messed around in that type of manner, so it ain't that type of party. However, I'm just going to say the fact that when we went over there, me and Nicole, after saying hello, giving hugs and stuff like that, I'm like, Nicole, you want to go take pictures? Lauren, you want to go take pictures? Nicole's like, yeah. Lauren's like, no, I'm good. I said, what? I said, okay, well, we're going to go take some pictures. We'll be back. I go to take the pictures with Nicole. I'm like, Nicole, I don't know, but that was weird as fuck. That was excuse my language. I'm working on my cursing, but that was weird. Girl, not you call, wanted to come to the date I'm on. Then want to share locations when you thought I was going to be going down with this guy. Then have us wait on you. And then when we get to the guy, you stay with the guy? I said, okay, let me go take pictures. We go take pictures. I wave her down. She doesn't acknowledge me. Forget it. I go back over there and I say, hey, we're about to go walk the room. Do you want to go walk the room with us? She said, you know what? I'm good. And actually, I think I'm going to go to the Godfrey after. Girl, what just happened? You really make me feel like you don't realize what you're doing. Because did the trio just become a duo? Was this the whole intention the whole time? Like now we're a duo, and I'm like, you just sit there, you're going to the Godfrey, and you didn't even invite me. You said, I just wanted to let you know I'm going to the Godfrey, so I'm good. Oh, well, shit, you good. Okay. Girl, listen, you're all set. I ended up gonna hang out with my homegirl because any room I walk in, I'm usually knowing a whole lot of folks. Test it. Whatever the case, I go speak to my other homegirls as I was in the building. Listen, she got the tea because she was there, and I was like, "Girl, that girl is so weird. There's no way. There's no way you asked this whole time and try to communicate with me this whole time to go together by your request, just so you can stay around the nigga the man I was sitting there having dinner with. Girl, I'm gonna let y'all decide how you want to believe that, how you want to see that, how you want to feel about that. But there's receipts. There's receipts and there's receipts. Fast forward. I ain't up leaving. Nicole feels some type of way. Asked me why I'm not going to. Why didn't I tell Lauren bye? Because the girl's good. The girl's good. I'm not her mama, and apparently we didn't come together because she's sitting around a guy that I was just having dinner with, and she apparently thinks that they have a chance. Listen, that girl know that I was interested in that man just like that man was interested in me. She had to send me pictures of me going like doing all looky face on his pictures. So and he was cheesing. He did not mind. Fast forward, I get a whole rumor, 'cause she likes to spread rumors, going about, oh, I was in this man's bed. And so fast forward for clarity, because we have again receipts. I even asked her about it. I said, girl, that was weird how our trio became a duo because I don't understand it. She was like basically talking about like she's a big girl, having she don't have to walk around with everybody and all this stuff. And I'm like, ew. Okay, well, it's good to know your perspective. And here's the thing. Think that she thought I was gonna care that she was sitting around this guy. I don't care. When I left, that guy called me, asked me where I go and why did I leave. And guess what? He invited me because he wanted to make sure, because I lived so far, that I was safe to stay over his crib. And listen, on my children's life, there was no sexual interaction happening. He literally gave me a hoodie and gave me his hoop shorts and a blanket, and I went to bed. And when I woke up, I put on my mink and I went home. And guess what? Guess what? I took a picture and I sent it to her. Just to let you know I made it home safely. She usually called and check on me. When she wanted to come out, how did the party go? When she didn't want to come out, hey girl, just checking on you. So here's the thing. Y'all can believe what y'all want to believe, but when I show y'all this proof, y'all gonna have to second guess what you used to believe, because I promise you, the truth will make a lie shine bright, real bright. Moving on to the next portion.
Feel like you just be copying off of me. And I'm like, are we we in kindergarten? I said, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? She goes, I'm just saying. I said, in what way? She says, you've copied off me in about 26 different times. I said, can you just give me one? Well, I'm out and I'm busy right now, so I can't really give you. Girl, if you don't shut the fuck. So at that point,
Girl, please, you face, because you sound like all you all are talk. And here's the thing: if I don't shut, what, girl? I'm about to upload soon, so there's no shutting me up unless I choose to just stop interacting with, what Dominique say, the peasants. It's really like, what is a flea to a lion, but an irritant? But I mean, why not? We're on a platform. Y'all want to get the tea? So I'm gonna give it to you, because the reality is, don't sit there and play with me, girl. Stop playing with me. You know you're playing with yourself when you thought you could play with me. Anyways, she says that I said something about copying her, or she copied, never copying her. She never thought that. She said something about me thinking she was copying me. And for clarity, this is around the time where she called me randomly saying she supports, and I invited her out, and she made an excuse then to come, and I said, don't worry about it. And then I said, oh, before I forget, because Cardi and I have been talking, and we don't want anyone to steal or recreate while we are also in the process our platform for T and the D's, live audience watch parties, and recaps with the cast. Because again, we made history. We had a non-compete that was issued to anyone who wanted to participate in our show. So she didn't participate in our show. I let her know that just coming, you would be fine. There would be no, it wouldn't be applicable to you. It would only be if you participate in the show. So she says, girl, what? When have I ever copied you? I said, girl, this is just in, this is just pertaining to the show in general. It's not about you. It's about business. And we wanted to keep the integrity of our platform. And if you don't understand that and you took it personal, you should have asked me questions instead of running on this obsession of hate. Because that's really what it's turning into, at the point where you really can't find a real reason to not like me. You got to identify, girl, you're just hating. And you keep saying hate. On this new show we were on, the girl's like, I hate you. And I'm like, oh my God. How are you giving me so much credit? You can't give people that much credit, girl. You got to find some emotional intelligence so that you can maintain your energy. Like, girl, there's no way you hate me without loving me first. So, I don't know where that turned for you. I promise you it's a personal problem, because I haven't done anything intentionally to you. And the reality is, I know you're watching, so don't worry. I know you're watching. But I haven't done anything intentionally to you. So it just makes it very clear that this is an insecurity of yours, a personal problem, or it's a problem you're creating. On episode 1, and I didn't, because y'all can check it out. Episode 1. We're almost done, I promise y'all, because I promise you I'm annoyed talking about her too. But clarity is clarity. She's definitely the definition of a mean girl. And honestly, I just feel like, because I have this platform and people were going hard on her based off how they felt, because they felt like she didn't stand on business while she wanted everybody else to stand on business. And it feels like the classic, case of don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Why are you mad at the messenger? but you can forgive Vince. First of all, you ain't gotta forgive me for nothing because I ain't did nothing, girl. You don't want to be asking for forgiveness after that. After that event, after Christmas gifted event, there's no way I would be talking to you unless you apologized. You gotta know. Logic is logic. And if a person can make me feel like I'm wrong and you can make me understand how I'm wrong, I promise you I believe you. I promise you I will believe you. But it's gonna be very hard with this one. Cause this one, she just got no proof. Cause I got all the proof. You sitting here out here spewing hate and lies and saying that I am because you're deflecting and you have no proof. I have all the proof. Again, oh God, please let it be done. We're almost done. She wasn't done talking, y'all. You know I talk more, so I can't believe we're talking this long about this.
I lost it. I say I lost it. I said, let me explain something to you. I am a creator. I have worked with over 150 clients in over 17 countries. We talk about countries, okay? There is no shortage of ideas around here, okay? And in order to have to copy off somebody, you would have to have shared the idea with me. You have to share the idea with me in order for me to copy. Also, starting a podcast is no genius idea.
No. Doing a live audience watch party and recaps with the cast kind of is. At least it's history worthy. So, yeah. I didn't say you were copying me. I just wanted to ensure anyone who participated didn't have the opportunity to. That's why there would be no conversations. Why are you mad?
Starting a podcast is not a genius idea. Sorry, it's not.
I know, because you do it. And you did it.
This girl is so insane and psycho that I literally, can you leave me alone and just forget I even exist? And so
Who has she said that to? Can I leave her alone if forget she ever existed? Girl, you know you're not relevant in my world unless you're talking about me. I didn't even know you were making this like these videos about me. I didn't even know you talk about me as much as you do. Luckily, I have friends in the Facebook group because they be like, "Girl, did you see that video she made about you?" As to why I'm a few days late, but don't worry, it is worth the wait.
way somehow my name got to keep coming up around those parts, and it's so sick. It's obsession.
I really believe it is sick and it's obsessed. I spend more time for clarity because sometimes you got to go into the story, the details. But this right here, you're just spewing hate. You're spewing negativity without any truth. You're sitting here trying to get people to dislike me. But girl, listen, if they like me, they like me. And if they don't, they don't. That's going to be based off of how I present myself. Anybody running behind you telling them not to like me as a follower, and that's fine. You can follow her if you want to, but just know she got a lot of issues that she still got to deal with. So unless you got those same issues and want to deal with them like her or grow with her as she figures them out, I'm telling you, I'm warning you in advance. Be cautious. Fact check whatever is said to you, and just understand soft and fake can go y'all can have that any day because I'm gonna take that raw and real. I don't mind that I be messing up my words or talking too much sometimes because at least I'm real. I promise you on that. And if I said it, I don't mind that I said it. That's why even in them edits, I wasn't mad. They should have just gave more clarity and context to it. Even in the edit when they said that why was I crying? Period. What's his name? Nephew Tommy asked me specifically, why was I crying? And you know what I told him? He said, why are you crying? Did somebody offend you? Did somebody say something that just, offended you? And I'm like, I said, no, I'm just so disappointed if this is what we have to look forward to. Like the dating, this is what dating is now. It's what it's supposed to look like now. This is disappointing. That's what I said. And that's why they were laughing. Because mm-mm. They didn't even show all of it. There's a lot of reasons that they were laughing. And then I clarified, like I don't necessarily think that the guys who provided what they felt they wanted to in regards to what they felt my needs were sent to them, and it ain't to the men that I didn't get to interact with because I felt like you were somebody else's connection. This is to the men who thought that my want for consideration was too much. It is a disappointment. It's a disappointment that you want me to explain my standards. Just don't just don't stand in line. Don't stand in my line. So many other girls go stand in their line. You guys, we're almost done, and I promise you, I'm gonna wrap this up so fast.
She's the type of person you can never forgive because she's sick mentally.
That sounds like an obsessed person. Like if I haven't done nothing to you, I have not done nothing to like nothing conniving. You can't give me a real scenario. Your whole basis is the fact that I told you my hair was real. Your whole basis on being mad is that I asked you a quote unquote, I asked you if your hair was real, knowing that it wasn't. That would have just been rude. I don't think I asked you that. Your whole basis for not liking me is that I made a podcast and I asked you to come on there and you didn't. So I took that as you don't fuck with us. Your whole basis of being mad is that I created a podcast, and a lot of the people who you've rubbed wrong got opportunity to say whatever they wanted to say without it being edited by either you on your platform or by own. Because I don't do too much edits other than when we like just over talking and trying to shorten it up a little bit, or run out of tape. But other than that, y'all getting what you getting. I ain't that good at edits yet. Okay, we're wrapping it up.
That's how I feel about Ina. I didn't mean to talk about her in this moment,
Yes,
but I
you
want to make
did.
that very clear. So when you guys are over there listening to the bush, keep that in mind. Obsessed psychopath.
Okay, now that she's done, I just want y'all to understand the full complexity of why she calls me a obsessed psychopath, which I think is just directly rooted to the fact that she has her own personal issues and insecurities as to why she wants to deflect them onto me. And I literally have done nothing to this lady other than be kind, forgive her multiple times when she sat there and turned our trio on an outing that she requested we have into a duo. I mean, all she has no basis. There's no basis. There's no basis unless I was dealing with a man that you liked or that a man that what you were like on a hidden link with. I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me why you're really mad, and it can't be all this feelings involved. I only like facts. I like facts and logic. If you have a real reason to dislike me, then girl, I understand. But if not, you have to identify. It's too much going on in the world right now for you to be sitting here making that video about me. The only reason why you're getting this because you won't be getting nothing else. If I talk about you, it's because you're relevant for whatever I'm watching in the moment. Now, I doubt I will be watching anything in the future that has you in it because I really, like I said, I don't really see you unless I'm in your environment or your room. I mean, like the same space as you, and I just look up and then I'm like, oh, there she go. Other than that, I don't seek you out. I could care less, girl. At the point where if you said I was obsessed, I wouldn't know where you live. I have no clue where you live. I have no clue where your kids go to school. I have no clue what school you went to. Girl, I could care less about you. Other than I actually told Cardi when they were tearing you down for chasing after Donna's man or for chasing after Vince after calling her, after he called you a tall B, or for sitting here trying to find a connection with Bella when Bella was already locked in instead of gracefully bowing out or even just looking for an self-elimination. You had none of that. You had none of that. So, your own personal outcomes come from your perspectives, which honestly, I'm going to pray for them. I know that this was very long winded, but I feel like when somebody attempts to assassinate your character or even sits there and speak on mental health, girl, if I was one of them, I could have been, my feelings might have been hurt, but I'm not. What the fuck is a flea to a lion again? I just emphasize stop playing with me because at the point where I choose to be kind, I gotta let you know the first time stop playing with me. I'm kind because I choose to be. Because I choose to be, because I want to be, because I love God. And I think that ugly people, well, not ugly people, because I will give her the credit, she's pretty. But I can identify that people with ugly character and ugly energies always, on every occasion, gonna attempt to find a reason to bring the ugly out of you.
So you didn't win. There's no competition here. You have your own race, and I hope you win it. I hope that this is the last time you have to address me and I have to address you. I hope that next conversation that you have is just addressing these text messages and, I mean, explaining yourself. I mean, hopefully someone will update me. If they don't, you know, it's whatever. It's like it never happened. Other than that, it's like, I guess they'll catch us on this other show if it comes out. Um, but yeah, for someone who wants to normalize, if we don't rock with each other, letting it go, I pray you take your own advice and just let sleeping birds, what is it called? Resting birds lie. Because this little beef you have with me is dead. It's dead, girl. It's dead. Like, I don't even know how people will even believe you after I show all the proof, but I pray that you will grow from this. I pray that we all grow from this journey. And I pray that you will just leave me out of it, girl. Because if, again, I spoke on you, it was because you either spoke on me or you were relevant to the show we were watching. Just keep that in mind. We're a recap show. And I'm so glad you had a specific episode for everyone to watch. Everyone, please check out episode 1, where she identifies how she feels I was talking about her. But I can guarantee you that is a what? Hashtag Lauren is a liar. I'm just going to wrap it up there. I'm so glad that y'all graced me with your presence, that you had enough patience for my overly long winded conversation, and that you were even interested in hearing the tea. Because let me tell you, I hope that y'all will go as hard for your brand, your name, your reputation, because it matters. It does. And I know I have good intentions for everyone and everything that is aligned with me or supporting me. And I just want y'all to know that we are always bigger than the moments. So I didn't just want to lash out and just react to that very negative um information, and it's really false. I halfway want to send her a defamation of character because you're not a medical provider and you're really spewing out these hateful comments that really can get you. Should I sue her? Let me just tell her. Yeah, I think I should offer that option up there. Because I'm not gonna play with you. You can pretend like you're gonna put your hands on me, but I'm gonna sue you, and then you're gonna have to figure out who did it. Who did it? So, whatever the case, I mean, do the safe things. Do the things that are safe. And that is all the receipts that I think I need to even give. So, with all that being said, I just understand that delusion sometimes will live out loud on some folks when they just don't even realize it themselves. And again, it's a very thin line between love and hate. For you to go on a show and pretend like you don't know me, and every time you go around, you talk about you don't know me, but have this much interaction with me in text and on phone, in the phone conversations and on DMs, like, it's just inappropriate for you to sit here and behave like this. I do think that though. With all that being said, I hope that you all will continue to tune in because Devon has a lot to say in regards to his experience on the show, some exclusives that you're missing, and maybe even the tea from the video that was uploaded and then deleted. Whatever the case, he's definitely going to give how he felt and how he feels about Shannon and Nicole and his experience with Ready to Love. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your time, your patience, and all of your good energy. If y'all have any constructive criticisms that you think that I can grow from, please drop it in the comments. And don't worry, I know we're working on the talking too much. But besides that, if y'all think that I'm wrong, let me know. If you think that you agree with me and you can relate that this girl is just sitting here causing confusion, hashtag in the comments, hashtag Lauren is a liar. And I'm only saying that because I got facts. So if she can prove that I'm lying, You'd have to prove that, because that would be a lie. The proof is in the pudding. Boom. God bless y'all, and bye for now. Oh, and by the way, for my very avid viewer who I am so grateful is tuning in, I want to give a huge shout out to Gwendolyn Bynum. Oh man, we love your energy. We love your comments. I love that you take the time to watch all of our episodes. I love you so much, girlfriend. God bless you and bye for now. Hope to see you soon. And before I go, let me give one more shout out to my hopeful future potential sponsor, Arizona iced tea. I'm telling y'all, there is a flavor for everyone. And when you drink this, you won't feel horrible about the ingredients because they have no preservatives, no colors, synthetic colors, and no artificial flavors. When I tell you that there is only 120 calories per serving, listen. All that I'm saying is why not go get an Arizona iced tea? Let's appreciate the better things.